Hi there, in this video I've set myself a challenge to go to my local park with nothing but a simple lens and my camera phone. If you've seen any of my videos before, when I normally go out taking photographs, I've probably got a long lens up to 600mm, so I can get very close to wildlife from a long distance away. But I'm aware that not everybody has got access to this kind of kit, so I thought in this video I'd set myself a challenge and come out to my local park with just some basic kit to see what I can photograph. So I've got my 24 to 200mm lens on my camera. Now this is roughly the kind of lens you might get if you bought a kit lens. Maybe you wouldn't go quite to 200, it might be slightly less than that. But I've also got my phone camera, and nearly everybody's got a camera like this. So I'm going to try in different situations to get some good photographs. It's all going to be about looking really carefully. And so despite your skill level or whatever kind of kit you've got, I'm going to demonstrate in this video how you can still take some really interesting photographs. And even if you're an experienced photographer, this kind of exercise is still really useful because it trains you to think in a different way and look for opportunities rather than let the camera do the work. So come along with me because I know that I'm really going to enjoy my photography. I'm starting here at the bandstand, and what I'm trying to do is create a kind of establishing shot to set the scene. Now, even with my camera at 24mm, as wide as it will go, I can't get much of the vista that I can see over this valley just below me. So what I've done is I've swapped to my camera phone because this has got a wide angle lens just here on the back, so I get more of the scene in. But then what I've also done is I've turned the camera into panorama mode, and this allows me to do a pan across the scene, and then the phone automatically stitches everything together, and so we get a really good instant panorama that is something a little bit different. Now I've got an establishing shot of this bandstand, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come a little bit closer and start to look for some details, because that's when the photography really comes alive, when you start to look for interesting parts that normally you wouldn't see unless you were taking the time to look for them. I've come inside the bandstand, and there are some interesting shadows coming across the floor because we've got some very bright sun this morning. So I've taken some photographs of the shadows themselves and then the railings in the background. That makes for some different kind of photographs. I've also lay on the floor pointing the camera upwards at the roof of the bandstand because it's made of timber, but it's got quite an interesting pattern. I did also have a little bit of a close-up on some of the stonework around the base of the bandstand as well. And for this, I've used a mixture of the camera and the camera phone. Now, if this is your first time visiting the channel, don't forget you can do me a really big favour and click the like, subscribe and the bell notifications. It really helps me out and it makes sure that you don't miss out on any future content. A few minutes ago there were some crows just behind me having a jump around on the grass, and because I was standing fairly still they allowed me to get quite close to them. So again, I've got some video of those and I've got some photographs as well. So it's all about just being patient, taking your time, and the wildlife will come to you instead of you trying to go to it. It's really important in in a situation like this to walk around with your ears open and your eyes open as well, just as much, because I was walking past this building here and I noticed a house sparrow going just into this little gap underneath the end of this roof, and so I got some photographs of that as it came out. I have been waiting to see if it went back again because it looked like it was taking some nesting material in there. I haven't seen it come back while I've been here, but while I have been here, just to my left there is a hedge, and I've been seeing sparrows on the top of that, and I took some pictures and then I gradually stepped closer, and because I wasn't going towards the sparrow really quickly, it stayed on the hedge quite a long while, and so I managed to get a pretty close-up photograph. I'm really enjoying at the moment looking for details to photograph, because I've just come across this tree that's been felled and the main trunk has been left here, and it's created some really interesting gnarly patterns to photograph. But what I've also done is I've discovered just how good the macro capability is on my phone, because you can get within about 2 centimeters of the object and it then finds its focus, so you can get some really good close-up macro photographs, and so I'm going to really go to town exploring that. Not a particularly new or groundbreaking idea, but I've come into this little copse of trees just here, and I've pointed the camera straight up towards the sky, and I've left the lens as wide as possible, and it gives a really interesting effect. Very dynamic, because all of the trees seem to be going towards each other in a leading line. And then I've also done the same thing using the phone, but even wider, and I think the effect is even more striking. As you can see behind me is a skate park. Because we've got quite bright conditions today, we're getting some very harsh shadows, and because there's lots of strong geometric shapes, what I'm doing is I'm taking some monochrome images. Now, because it's difficult to visualize what the image is going to look like, I've put my camera into monochrome mode. Now, I'm still going to get full color images because I'm taking the photographs in RAW, but it does help me visualize what the photographs are going to look like in the end. Found a tree just here with some blossom on it. Now, I'm actually probably about 2 or 3 weeks too early to catch a blossom in its full bloom. The daffodils aren't quite out yet either. Even though our daffodils at home are out, in this park they don't seem to be quite ready yet. But I've got my phone set into macro mode, and I've just got a photograph of this blossom here on this tree. Just in front of me here, there's a water feature that cascades down and then runs across the path into a small pond on my right. Now, I noticed that where the water crosses the path, the sunlight was creating some really interesting patterns in the ripples, and there was also a leaf just on the top of the cobbles. So I took a photograph how I found it, but then I moved the leaf so it was in the center of one of the cobbles because I thought it made a more pleasing composition, and I actually quite like it. It's a little bit noisy here because just the other side of this hedge, they're rebuilding the leisure centre, so we might hear some lorries backing up in a minute. But I have found a flower bed here that is just starting to come into bloom, so there are a few flowers that I've managed to photograph. So I've got the camera phone out again in macro mode, and I've taken some close-ups of those. Most parks will have a duck pond like the one here behind me, and it's a really great place for photographing birds because, one, the birds are really tame because they're used to people being around and feeding them, and also you can still see quite a lot of different species. Just in the first 5 minutes I've seen some Canada geese, some black-headed gulls, a moorhen, and some mallard as well, and I'm sure if I wait a little bit longer I'll see others as well. I spent some time watching the black-headed gulls, and they're exhibiting the same behaviour that I saw when I was at a nature reserve at the weekend. They're landing for a very short space of time, then flying around, landing again, and just keeping circling. Now, I don't know what causes this behaviour, but it makes for really good photographs because the birds are very close to where I am. I've put the sun behind me to make sure that I'm not going to get any trouble with that, and because I can zoom to 200mm, I can get them almost full in the frame because they're coming so close to me as they fly by. I've had a really lovely morning here in the park, and I think I've got some decent photographs as well. It has been challenging. I've had to think a little bit outside the box, so I've done some macro photography, I've done some mono photography, I've done some wildlife photography even as well, even with this slightly shorter lens. But it just goes to show that with a little bit of creativity you can still get great photographs and enjoy yourself. If you have enjoyed this video, do let me know down below in the comments, and up over to my Instagram or Vero account, that's at Darrell Oakden Photography. Leave me your comments there, and you can also see lots of my photographs. Now, if you like what I do on the channel and you want to help support me to make future content like this, then you can leave at the gift shop. That's at Teespring. There I've got a range of merchandise on offer, so head off over there because a purchase really does help me out and it's very much appreciated. But you don't have to spend any money at all to support the channel. You can do that simply by clicking the like, subscribe and the bell notifications. It really helps me out, and it makes sure that you don't miss out on any future content. Watch out for next week's video. That goes live on Sunday. In the meantime, you can go and check out this video just up here. But all that's left now is to say, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.